you guys are obviously friends, but the friendship has, as you were describing earlier, is evolved over a long time, perhaps a period where you didn't have the profile that you have now. Tell us about the evolution of your friendship.
Do you want to tell the story?
Yeah, thank you. First time I never met Jennifer, but when I was in the courtroom, and I was shocked and I was surprised because she's sitting in the courtroom, and I never seen the white girl sitting witness in the courtroom. And, you know, to my heart, as human level, it's like my spirit lit up. Even Indonesia put in prison in a dark room, but I feel that someone witnessed. And, you know, I never met. So that is the first time I feel that someone I care about as a other human being. That's the first time.
Now, Benny, you later escaped from prison. Is that correct?
Yes.
That's pretty scary. Not many people in this room have escaped from prison. Has anyone escaped from prison here? No. That's pretty scary. And you actually crossed the border into PNG.
Yes.
And that's where you were reunited with your wife.
Yes.
That must have been amazing. Tell us about, how did you escape?
Yeah, if you watch this film called America Prisoner Break, then you may know. That's exactly what I done, and I watched this film. I always watch few times, and this is what I did. And yes, I don't want to escape at the time because I'm not guilty. I'm standing for my people, but because Indonesia 3 times tried to kill me inside the prison, that's last minute I make decision. If I stay, I will be killed because one of the leader called Tais LOI, assassinated by Indonesia Special Force in 2001. And 2002, they target me and they put me, because I'm a leader of the people, to mobilize the movement peacefully. Then they charged me 25 years. So that's, but I feel that I'm not guilty and I'm standing for my people. But Indonesia want to kill me, and last minute I make decision. If I stay, I will be killed. Better while I escape and they kill me. That's my decision. So that's what I left.
So you leave that situation, you go to PNG, and you and your wife and your daughter then go to the UK?
No, my wife and my daughter, they didn't know where I escaped. Because my wife and my daughter, they really Indonesia trying to harass, and they want to arrest my wife. They want to get information, but my wife hiding one house to another house. In fact, that then you'll also meet them. And I never meet until I escape. And I didn't know where they're going, where they're hiding, until I arrived in United Kingdom after 3 months later. And then I discovered they are living in a refugee camp. And I sent a small note to the Papua New Guinea. And one of my friends delivered to my wife. And my wife see my handwriting, and she is crying. And then all the British friends and helped the other friends who came to Papua New Guinea and smuggled them from Papua New Guinea to rejoin in United Kingdom. So that is the...
This is an amazing story. Can we just hear it for Benny? I don't know why, but I just... Can we just pan out a little bit? Can you tell us about West Papua? It's also known as Irian Jaya. Is that a...
Formerly known.
Formerly known as Irian Jaya. And how did it come... I know that in 75, I think it was, East Timor was invaded by the Indonesians. How did Irian Jaya, West Papua, become part of Indonesia?
Sure. Well, West Papua was part of the Dutch East, was loosely part of the Dutch East Indies, which then became independent Indonesia. When Indonesia got independence, they kept West New Guinea, and it was entered onto the list of non-self-governing territories which are entitled to self-determination under the UN Charter.
Non-self-governing or self-governing?
Non-self-governing, so colonial states that are on the path to independence. And the Dutch had an international obligation to bring West Papua to independence. Indonesia wanted the province largely because of its natural resources.
What are they, Jennifer?
It has the biggest gold and copper mine in the world. The largest tract.
It's not Bougainville, is it?
No, it's Freeport Gold Mine. That's on the other side.
That's on the other side of Papua New Guinea.
The largest tract of rainforest outside of the Amazon. Huge natural gas reserves. What else?
Copper.
Yeah, the gold.
That's plenty, by the way. You don't feel.
It is. West Papua is the greatest contributor to Indonesia's GDP. But basically,
sorry, say that again.
West Papua is the greatest contributor to Indonesia's GDP. So.
Of the provinces?
The natural resources. It is the most natural rich resource province, and yet it is the poorest. So the people aren't benefiting. But basically in the early 60s, Indonesia tried to take it back. They were receiving arms from Russia. The US stepped in and said, we can't afford to lose Indonesia to the Cold War. So Australia was actually going to go to war with the Dutch to protect the province because we were administering Papua New Guinea at the time. And then once the US stepped in, everybody went, whoa. And actually 2 years before West Papua, as part of the agreement, Indonesia was supposed to give West Papua a vote for self-determination. They did so in 1969, but in circumstances where they rounded up 1,000 people and made them vote under threat of violence, so it was not a free and fair vote. But 2 years before that, the US signed the contract for Freeport Gold Mine. And so it was pretty clear that this vote for self-determination was never going to be free or fair because they'd already been divvying up their natural resources. And as a result of that, which was completely in violation of international law, they became part, illegally, of Indonesia.
Okay. There's so many questions I need to ask you guys. I really want to get to your relationship. But I just, because I don't know how much time we've got, they may shorten the morning tea break.
Sure.
I just want to talk about, if people are interested, this is a campaign, of course. We know that Jose Ramos Horta, he went around the globe when East Timor was a non-existent issue. He was travelling doggedly, going to community radio stations in Portugal and Spain, and that man has, done some serious miles. If we want to find out more, how do we get involved? How can we just, to start off with, learn more?
Yeah, there is a website called www.freewestpapua.org. That's a lot of information is there. We have international lawyer for West Papua, if your lawyer could involve, and Jennifer, who is a leader of the lead lawyer group. And also we have an international parliamentarian for West Papua, which is some of the Australia Greens and Senator joined this campaign. It's mainly focused on self-determination, and you can do practical things. Tell your family, your friends, and invite West Papuans to come and speak your group or anything we can, because people in Australia care about human beings. Because why we have 10 years ago East Timor, people thought never get independent, but because people power moving. So I hope that one day my people are free, but without your support, it's never free. So that is the free website you can visit. Also, we have Twitter, Free West Papua Twitter, also the Facebook. There's 70,000 worldwide are supporting this campaign, so you can join.
Okay, so there's different things we can do. We can search it on Twitter. Do you know the Twitter handle that we can, just to get updates?
Yeah. Yeah.
He wants to know what it is. What is the Free West Papua? What is the Twitter handle?
What's the Twitter name?
Yeah, I think Free West Papua.
Free West Papua. Free West Papua. So Twitter, if you want to follow it on Twitter, Free West Papua.
Yeah.
I know that Jose Ramos Horta, when he would come to Australia, he would often be put up by various unions who are very strong on this campaign. Are there any groups in Australia which, who let you sleep at their house, or who are particularly kind of good, that we would know, like prominent unions or perhaps? Yeah,
we have a lot of Papuans live here. As you may know, 7 years ago, there's 42 Papuan who was crossed by canoe here. So they have a group in Free West Papua in Melbourne and many places. Also, we have a music group called Rise Up Morning Star. This is now the new generation stood up and joined all the musicians. And in fact, that I think 4 weeks ago performed here so you can.
So what's the name of that group?
The Rise Up Morning Star.
Okay, the Rising Morning Star.
Yeah.
But as to date, I think that there hasn't been sufficient support from Australian groups and unions. So there's definitely a strong West Papuan activist community here and the Australia West Papua Association.
Yeah.
But we would love to see more support from the unions that were active on the East Timor issue.
I mean, the first step is for people to know, and of course, that's exactly what you guys are doing today. Can I ask our audiences to thank you for coming down and having a chat to us?